I know early voting is April 22nd, but I hope I earn your respect and, more importantly, your vote. If you feel I'm your mayor, I'd like you to come out and vote for me, Naushad Kermally, on April 22nd, and let's win this together.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, प्रोग्राम लाइफ विद फ़रा के साथ फ़रा इकबाल एक बार फिर आपके साथ। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप लोग खैरियत से हैं और आपका शुक्रिया भी अदा करती हूँ कि आप प्रोग्राम को इतना पसंद करते हैं। दुआ गो भी हूँ आपके लिए कि आप हमेशा खैरियत से रहें। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, मैंने लास्ट प्रोग्राम में भी जिक्र किया था इस बात का कि इस वक्त अमेरिका में लोकल बॉडीज़ के इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं और बहुत गहमा गहमी है, ख़ास तौर पर ह्यूस्टन में, क्योंकि ह्यूस्टन में पाकिस्तानियों की और देसियों की एक बड़ी तादाद आबाद है और शुगरलैंड जो है वो उसका दिल समझा जाता है या गढ़ समझा जाता है उसका। तो शुगरलैंड इस वक्त बहुत ज़्यादा गहमा गहमी में इन्वॉल्व है देसी कम्युनिटी में, और उसकी बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग से फैक्ट्स हैं उसके। एक तो ये कि हमारे 2 टर्म्स के सिटी काउंसिल मेंबर नौशाद करमली जो हैं वो मेयर के इलेक्शन के लिए जा रहे हैं और ही इज़ ऑल्सो अ मुस्लिम देसी। और उसके अलावा जो 4 पोजीशंस और हैं जो ओपन हुई हैं इलेक्शन के लिए, हर पोजीशन में मैंने देखा कि एक पाकिस्तानी है। सो आई वाज लाइक वाओ, इस दफ़ा कोई ख़ास बात है जो कि आज हम इनसे पूछेंगे। हमारे आज के जो मेहमान हैं, ये स्पेशल एपिसोड है, स्पेशल शो है आज का, अगेन बिकॉज इट इज़ विद द फ्यूचर मेयर शुगरलैंड और कैंडिडेट हैं इस वक्त वो, तो हम उनसे बातचीत करेंगे। आपके भी बहुत सारे सवाल मेरे पास हैं, मैं वो भी पूछूंगी और मेरे अपने सवाल जो है मैं वो भी पूछूंगी। तो वेलकम करते हैं प्रोग्राम में नौशाद करमली। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Walaikum salam. Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much for having me. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone.
Tired?
Not tired.
Not tired.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited about this race. I've been working on this for many, many years. And just one small correction is I'm in my 3rd term now.
Oh,
I'm in my
you
3rd
can
term.
have 3 terms?
I can have three-year terms. And so now I'm in my 3rd term. I started in 2019 is when I got elected. To June of 2019, I got elected for my first term as the first Muslim American to be elected ever in the City Council of Sugarland. My 2nd term, I did not have an opponent, so I won. And my 3rd term last year, I did not have an opponent again, and I won again.
You're lucky.
I am lucky, I am blessed, but I've done what I said I was going to do. I have always listened to the people first, and then I can help speak for them, because there are 7 city council members, 6 city council members and 1 mayor. And inshallah, I want to be your mayor. But we represent the entire city of Sugarland, 115,000 people. And being the first Muslim, the Muslim population, as you said, in Sugarland and in Houston, mashallah, is very big. The Muslim community, the Indo-Pak community. We have some of the best restaurants here.
I can see that you're full of energy.
Yes.
You could want to answer so many questions.
Yes, I do.
And I have this full book of questions.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
But before that,
Yes.
a small brief introduction.
Sure. Naushad Kermally has lived in Fort Bend County now for over 30 years. I'm married to my sweetheart, who I met when I was in the 9th grade. And she was in the 8th grade. And we've been married 30 years, as I said. We have 3 beautiful children. My oldest son name is Adam. He's 26 years old and got a master's degree from the University of Texas and Penn State University, and currently works at ZT Sports. My daughter, who's my princess, my little baby, my only daughter, she's my princess, Ariana. And Ariana graduated from Austin College in Sherman, Texas with a master's in teaching degree. And mashallah, today she is teaching 3rd grade students at Ferguson Elementary School in Fort Bend ISD. I'm very, very proud of my daughter. And my baby, his name is Aaron. He graduated from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, in the Cox School of Business. And so he is business-minded like me. He I think he loves money more than anyone I know. Wow. He works at Wells Fargo, which is a large banking institution, obviously, in downtown Houston. And he does private equity work in Wells Fargo.
Great, so, great achievements.
Mashallah, so, I'm very proud.
Before I ask you this question, why you want to run for the mayor, tell me what are the achievements you're proud of in the previous terms?
I'm very proud of a lot of achievements over the past 6 years. In City of Sugarland, because we affect you every day. You know, there's the city government, and then there's the state government, and then the national government. National government is what we hear about Donald Trump doing this or President Biden doing this. But every day, what affects you day to day is your city. And just driving here today and coming to Houston, because I came from Sugar Land, there's a big difference when you leave Sugar Land.
Yes.
And one of the major
I'm happy
differences...
that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's a big difference because as soon as I exited Bel Air Boulevard, I started hitting potholes. And my car was doing this. Sugar Land, we don't have that. I'm very proud to say that you cannot find a pothole in the city of Sugar Land because we have 850 staff members that take good care of our city. We have the best police and we have the best fire department. Why do I say we have the best? Because we're fully staffed. In the city of Houston, they're down over 1,300 police officers. In the city of Sugar Land, we have no deficit of police officers. That means we're keeping you safe. You live in New Territory, which is in Sugar Land, right? And you're in my district, in District 2. Yeah. And so safety is always going to be a number one priority. But let me tell you something else I've done. I recently passed a bill last October, and some people may not like it, and it's okay. I don't do this to be liked. I do this to serve the public. In the city of Sugar Land, we will not have any hookah places. And if you go to Highway 6 in Voss, they're inside of every shopping center. If you come to Houston or Missouri City or Stafford, you see a lot of that. We don't have any of that. And the reason I wanted to make sure that this happens is because it's a good pastime that people do and stuff, but it's not needed in every shopping center. These places stay open till 2 in the morning.
So you're saying there is no hookah place in Sugar Land?
There is only one that is in Sugar Land. It's called Shisha. And they got in at the right timing, was everything for them. And they, mashallah, good for them. I'm
That's
happy.
information for me.
Yes.
So Voss is not included?
Voss is not. So when you pass Elite Restaurant.
It's out of Sugar Land.
Yeah, so Elite is inside of Sugar Land. You go to Voss, where the food trucks and everything are. And that becomes Harris County in Houston area. So it's not in our jurisdiction. It's this one red light is the big difference.
That's a big information.
The other thing is speed limits. You know, we look at data in the city of Sugar Land. There's some places where I have raised the speed limit from 35 to 40 because we looked at data and we said there's no accidents happening. But the police are pulling people over at 40 miles an hour. So I'm saving the residents money from getting a ticket because we don't want to just pull people over.
Can you mention which places?
I'll give you one immediately. Meadowcroft Boulevard. Meadowcroft Boulevard, and it's in between University and First Colony Boulevard. That speed limit used to always be 35. We raised it to 40, but with good data. But there's been other places where we've lowered the speed limit, right? Because there is too much crashes that happen. These are the type of things that we do that affects your...
You decided in the city council.
Yes, with city council, with our staff, and we have consultants that we also use as well.
You use data.
We use data. Data-driven is very important because bad information is called misinformation, and I don't believe in giving bad data. One thing about Naushad you'll always understand is I'm going to be very straight with the public. I'm not going to say this or that to make you happy. I'm going to be very transparent because if it's not in my jurisdiction, I cannot do it. I cannot help you. But for the most part, I can do it. The other thing I've done is I have made so many good contacts that are inside of my cell phone. I can text a state representative, a senator, a congressman, and mashallah, they respond back to me. And why is this important? It's important because I am an extension of the community. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Chinese, whether you're American, African American, it doesn't matter. I'm here to serve everyone. But we've had instances where someone needed an expedited visa because their family member passed away and they needed to come to the US. We're able to help because of contacts that are in my phone. I can contact the congressman's office and not necessarily the congressman. I can contact his admin and they know who I am. So I am a resource for individuals as well. And this is for any community member.
I think we should have more like you.
Inshallah. I'm glad you said that. You said that without me knowing that you were going to say that. I love service. My mother, when she was alive, we didn't have much money growing up. I am a product of food stamps. I have gotten free breakfast at school. I have gotten free lunches at school. I got free aftercare during school. Why do I say that? Because there's a lot of immigrant families out there that are doing the same thing today. But yet we can all be successful. The reason I'm successful is because of my mother. My mother always made us say to make sure you give back to the community. When you
Let's
give,
go to the
give back.
question, main
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Why you want to run for the mayor? You have had enough of 6 years
Yes.
in the city council.
Yes.
How did you think about going for the mayor? Because that's a bigger responsibility.
It is.
Or it is a political process, I understand.
Yes.
That you go to the higher position and higher position. But somehow I see that you have another reason also. I feel that I see that it's a spark, it's a fire to serve the community.
It's fulfilling for me. And on my cards, and I don't know if everyone can see this or not, but it clearly says Naushad loves Sugarland. I love Sugarland. This is our home. Yes, we may be from Pakistan. Yes, we may be from India. We come from different cultures. But the U.S. is now our home. And we've got to give back and make this place better for my children, their children, and leave this place in a better service. And I go back to my mother again. Service has always been instilled from my mother, my sister Anar, my Bobby, my wife. We've always given back. And it satisfies me at night, going to bed, to say that, Alhamdulillah, today I helped someone. Whether it's with their center point energy, because the transformer went down, whether it's an easement issue, whether it's just a notice that they got. And city council, like I said earlier, affects you day to day. If your trash doesn't get picked up on Monday, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
Right? Because now you have to, but does that happen in Sugarland? The answer is no. Our trash contract is solid, and we make sure that they stay on top of it. That affects you daily. It affects you when you wake up in the morning, you do one of two things. You either brush your teeth and you turn on the water, or you go to the toilet and you flush the toilet. That is our responsibility. In the city of Houston, not the city of Sugarland, there are faucets when you turn on the water that the water looks like mud. Muddy. You said it, right? And that is all over Channel 2 News right now. It is there. But we will never have that problem. So our water bills may be a little bit higher, but we're providing you quality drinking water you can drink straight from the faucet. That makes me happy.
So do you, if you mentioned that, let me ask you, do you test the water every time?
Absolutely.
How many times do you test
So
water?
we have a water treatment facility. Now remember, we have 850 employees. Their job is to run the city on a day-to-day basis. As the mayor and as the city council, we are like a board of directors. We sit on top, but we have a city manager. He runs the show day to day. How often do we test the water? I don't know the answer. However, it's regulated.
Regulated.
And we have to test the water for chlorine and other issues that could come up. And we have one of the best water treatment facilities, state of the art. By the way, it's very close to Voss in Highway 6 that we mentioned. It's right there on the right-hand side before Highway 6.
I saw that.
It's a beautiful facility. And we have a full-time
But we
staff.
didn't know what it was.
Now you know. Now you know.
Now I know.
Yes.
Okay, next question is the very important question.
Okay.
What is your agenda?
What is my agenda? There is no agenda.
No, I mean to betterment.
Oh, for betterment. Absolutely. I don't come in with an agenda, but what I come in with is priorities, which is agenda. Number one, and I said it once, safety. Make sure that our police are always staffed. Recently, we also approved, we have 2 police dogs today, canine units.
Canine.
We now have approved a 3rd canine unit. Why? Why is it important that we have a canine unit? It puts the officer, which is a human being, out of danger. The dog can go in to an area and sniff for different drugs, sniff for people that are hiding, and they find people hiding in trash cans, in dumpsters, and they go in and they're able to smell. So that's why it's important. So safety is my number one priority. I will always back the blue. A lot of people say defund the police and all that. That's not going to happen in my city. It's going to be perfect. We're going to always make sure we fund our police. That is my number one priority. The number two priority.
We will talk about after the break.
Okay.
तो नाजरीन कहीं मत जाइएगा, यहाँ पर लेते हैं एक छोटी सी ब्रेक की वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्वर्सेशन। आपको भी पता चले कि हमने शुगरलैंड में जो लोग देख रहे हैं हमने वोटिंग कैसे करनी है और किसको वोट देना है। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो कहीं मत जाइएगा, लेते हैं एक छोटा सा ब्रेक। जी नाजरीन, वेलकम बैक। और हम आज की स्पेशल एपिसोड में जो कि लाइफ विद फरा की है, हमारे साथ मेयर के कैंडिडेट, मेयर ऑफ शुगरलैंड के लिए कैंडिडेट हैं नौशाद करमली, और हम उनसे बातचीत कर रहे हैं। और इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉन्वर्सेशन है बहुत ज़्यादा, क्योंकि शुगरलैंड के मसाइल भी हैं बहुत सारे। जहाँ बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें हैं शुगरलैंड की, वहाँ मसाइल भी हैं, क्योंकि अच्छी जगहों पे जब लोग मूव होना शुरू होते हैं तो वहाँ थोड़ा ट्रैफिक का भी प्रॉब्लम होता है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का भी प्रॉब्लम होता है। तो वेलकम करते हैं वापस प्रोग्राम में आपको। बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। तो थोड़ी सी मैं उर्दू इसलिए बोल रही हूँ ताकि मेरे नाजरीन भाग ना जाए कहीं टोटल इंग्लिश सुन के। So my next question is, what is your stance on imperial sugar? That is a big issue right now.
Yeah, so it is a big issue.
And can you explain a little bit why it's an issue?
Yeah. So Sugarland is home of imperial sugar. The factory 100 years ago was built here. And so that's why we have a railroad track, and sugar was built here. So the name Sugarland comes from imperial sugar. Now that building is dead. Nothing is happening there. The sugar factory is there, but it's just an old 100-year-old building. Recently, our city council passed unanimously 7-0, and I was part of this decision to take sales tax dollars. So if you go to a restaurant, the 8.25 cents, a little bit of that to help pay for it. So now we're in the process of buying 4 different tracts of land, the city of Sugarland, but we're not in the development business. So then we're going to find a developer to rebuild this. The vision that the city has is to put multifamily homes there, to bring in different types of homes, smaller homes, condos, duplexes, quadplexes. And this will allow the younger generation, like my son is 26 years old, they don't want a big backyard. They don't want a swimming pool. They want a smaller home, 900 square feet, 1,200 square feet, 1,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet. We're going to bring that all in. But on top of that, we'll bring the residences. But then we also need to bring in the businesses as well. So we would look at restaurants, bars, having markets on Sundays or Saturdays where people can bring their honey. Same place, in the lawn area. So that way you can buy peaches, you can buy fresh, different type of.
I saw a market already there.
So we have a farmer's market. It used to be there. The Fort Bend Chamber used to do it. Now it's moved to the Imperial Recreation Center, but it's a very small.
So you're going to repair the building?
So the whole idea is there's 2 thought processes. We don't know what we're going to do. To repair the building is very expensive because it's historical. But to remove it and build it, but make it look like the historical building. The same. Because 100 years ago, building standards were different. Today, building standards are very top notch. We get hurricanes.
This was damaged by the hurricane.
It was. It's been, and the windows have been broken out for many years. It's falling apart on the inside. And so now we need to restore this, but we need to bring in the whole recreation, family, restaurants. And so it becomes a family atmosphere. And the young people who don't have children and stuff, they can get the 900 square foot, 1,200 square foot. They can take their dog outside to the dog park and enjoy the dog park and enjoy the amenities around. You've been to Sugarland Town Center, right? Where City Hall is. Think of Sugarland Town Center, but elevated much higher. Better than Sugarland Town Center. I said better than Sugarland Town Center.
So it must be a big project.
It is a big project. It will go into the billions of dollars.
Right.
But that will bring in revenue, which is sales tax dollars. It'll bring in, people will pay.
Jobs also.
Jobs, absolutely. And not everyone lives in Sugarland, works in Sugarland. So we have people that commute into Sugarland. We have a lot of people that live in Sugarland and they go to Houston or other places to work. But regardless, it will bring in a proper population because these rentals are not going to be cheap. It's not low income housing. It's not $800, $900 a month. No, That doesn't happen in Sugar Land. The land is too expensive for us to put low income. So we'll have proper, nice apartments.
So apartment will be for rent?
So we don't know because it's too soon,
You have
right?
not planned.
We haven't planned. We're in the infancy stages right now. But you would think that multifamily normally is rental. Condos will be for sale. Duplexes will be for sale. And then investors may buy them and then do rentals and all that
Whatever
kind of
they
stuff.
want.
Yes, yes. But the standards of building will be very good.
Okay.
Very good.
It's very clear now.
It is. It is.
With you, it's very clear. What is your stance on that and what is your planning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So my next question is, as we all know now, before nobody knew about it, in Sugar Land, we don't have a community college. We have one in Stafford, but Stafford charges us out-of-state fees.
Okay.
We don't have our own college. And also, we don't have a public hospital, just like Bentau. So here, I am sure Sugar Land residents are very rich people because they can afford the,
Sure.
there are so many hospitals here, but there is no public hospital like the Gold Card they use in Bentau.
So I used to work at Bentall Hospital. I'm a registered nurse by profession, as you know, and I did trauma nursing for 10 years, 8 years at Bentall and 2 years at Methodist Sugar Land. And when I moved to Sugar Land to the Methodist Hospital, it was only a 30-bed unit, 16 beds downstairs, 12 beds labor and delivery. And now you see, mashallah, what the hospital system has become in the city of Sugar Land. Your question is about education. We have University of Houston. We have a beautiful campus for engineering and many other programs, including
I was
nursing.
talking about before that, associate degree.
Yeah, so they offer associate's degrees as well from the University of Houston. You can get certificate degrees there. However, I understand what you're saying, but that land is owned by the University of Houston in the state, and they can do whatever they want with it. Do I see that University of Houston campus expanding? The answer is yes. What will happen there? It's up to Dr. J. Neal and the provost to decide what they want to do because they own the land. But they have vision. They have vision of dormitories there. They want student housing there.
I heard about
So these are important things. And to have a state-of-the-art facility like University of Houston in Sugar Land is important. Sometimes the community colleges cannot afford all the land. However, just off of 59, there is a new, and I don't remember the name of the college, but there is a new technical school in a 6-story building that has now come in. And so now there's more schools, and they've taken over an office building and 2 floors of the office building. But these are the things, but they have to also have interest in Sugar Land. The campuses have to have school, interest.
So what you're saying is that University of Houston have to think about it, and they are already thinking about it because we don't have a public college for associate.
Yes.
And we have to go to Stafford and pay double the fees.
Yeah.
So
And that's really not in the jurisdiction of a city council member or the mayor, because these institutions also don't pay tax, right?
that's what the Stafford College principal, he told me.
Yes.
Because I asked him. He said, because you people don't pay taxes here.
Right.
So that's why we
Right.
have to
So
charge.
so that's how they have to charge you more. But for the city of Sugar Land, we only have 4% of land available. So we have to be very diligent about what we put there, because if we build those condos and the bars and the restaurants and everything else that everyone wants, that helps all of the taxpayers, including you that lives in New Territory, me that lives in Telfair. It helps us all.
Correct. Okay, let's talk about this infrastructure and economy of the Sugar Land.
Sure.
So as we all see that economy, the Sugar Land population is growing day by day. People are trying to come, but Sugar Land does not have any more land, I guess.
4%.
Right?
Right?
So what will we do? I mean, Highway 90 is blocked now.
It is.
In the evenings, Highway 6 is blocked now. So
So-
do you have any plan for that?
So you said evening. That was the key word that you said. Traffic's going to be everywhere, right? Especially when you're going to work at 8:30 in the morning and you have to get somewhere at 9 o'clock. When you go to drop off your kids to either middle school or elementary school, or even when the kids are driving to high school, at certain times when all the roads, everyone's on the roads at the same time, congestion's going to happen. But we've expanded Highway 59. We have lots of lanes on both on 59. We're expanding Grand Parkway and Highway 90. We're doing a big infrastructure there close to new territory. We're expanding University Boulevard in front of University of Houston, who I mentioned, all the way into Telfair. So these things have to come, but they come at a price tag. And that is the beautiful thing, is our citizens allowed us several years ago to expand University Boulevard. So it's taxpayer dollars that we use, but like on Highway 90 and 99, that is TxDOT. It comes from the state of Texas, and they're improving the infrastructure. We're going to continue to grow. Now, you mentioned that our population's increased, and it's actually declined a little bit. Yeah, so our population used to be in the 120s, and now we're 115. What's happening is our population is aging, and our younger folks that are age 26 to 35, they're going elsewhere. They're going to East Downtown. They're going to Katy. So it's migration because we don't have the right housing. And that is what Imperial is going to help us with. And it's also another area called Lake Point. Lake Point is where Flor Daniel used to be. That is an area that we have our eyes on, that we would like to develop that area too.
That's a beautiful place.
With lots of water, right behind Whole Foods, right? Beautiful place. So then you can walk to the restaurants that are there as well.
I'm happy that it's all close to my house.
It is all close. You can't walk there all the time, but you can ride a bike, but I know it's better to get in the car. It's always better to get in the car.
So nobody like walks here like that. Somehow people don't walk around like that.
We don't have...
Maybe we don't have a place for that.
So Sugarland Town Center is one area, right? Where you can live upstairs and come downstairs and eat and shop and do lots of different things. So we have that. But we need more of it. Because not everyone wants to get in the car and drive. You know, these younger individuals, and I keep going back to that young age group, 25 to 35, they just like to go down, they want convenience. They want to come home, relax, and then go eat dinner, and then have
So
fun.
my next question is about the economy.
Yes.
I think, it's my personal opinion, though I am not expert on economy, that Sugarland economy is good. It's okay.
Yes, and let me give you
in comparison to other places.
other cities, absolutely. We have a reserve. We have a coffer of money. And let me give you an example. Do you remember Hurricane Beryl came through last year? And our trees were all over the streets.
Correct.
It was all in our yards. Sugarland cleaned everything up within 6 to 7 weeks. Missouri City and other neighboring cities and all of Fort Bend County waited months and months. We spent $7.1 million on a cleanup because we had trucks ready to go from the state of Montana and the state of Florida, and we signed these contracts ahead. But we spent $7.1 million, but we didn't charge you any more taxes because we had the funding. We had the fund. Is $7.1 million a lot of money? Absolutely. It's a lot of money. But we had it. We are very frugal in how we do our planning of our budget. So we always want to make sure we're on the same. We have a AAA bond rating. It's the best bond rating you can get if you want to borrow money, and cities do borrow money for infrastructure and everything else. So we have a AAA bond rating, and we're very proud of that.
जैसा कि आप सुन रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं कि बड़ी इंटेंस गुफ्तगू जारी है अबाउट शुगरलैंड, और बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली ही इज़ गोइंग फॉर द मेयर इलेक्शन, तो हमने इनसे सारे सवाल करने हैं, लेकिन यहाँ वक्त तो एक छोटी सी ब्रेक था. अगेन कहीं मत जाइएगा, वापस आके इसको हम रैप अप करेंगे. लेते एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. वेलकम बैक नाजरीन, आप प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं लाइफ विद फरा, और हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं शुगरलैंड मेयर के इलेक्शन में कैंडिडेट नौशाद करमली, जो ऑलरेडी शुगरलैंड सिटी काउंसिल में 3 टर्म्स अपनी पूरी कर चुके हैं, और 1 टर्म उनकी जो पूरी हो रही है अभी, जिसके बाद वो इलेक्शन के लिए जा रहे हैं, शुगरलैंड मेयर के इलेक्शन के लिए. ये बड़ी बात है. इट्स अ बिग डील फॉर शुगरलैंड, इट्स अ बिग डील फॉर हिम, इट्स अ बिग डील फॉर अस टू. तो इसलिए हमने सोचा कि आज हम आपसे थोड़ी इनकी बातचीत करवाएं और आपको बताएं कि वो क्या सोचते हैं शुगरलैंड के बारे में, और किस तरह उनकी प्लानिंग है कि वो आगे शुगरलैंड में क्या चीज़ें जो हैं वो लेकर आएंगे मज़ीद. तो वेलकम करते हैं वापस प्रोग्राम में. हाँ जी, तो आपसे मेरा अगला सवाल ये है, बगैर रुके ताकि हम टाइम ना ज़ाया करें, कि इकॉनमी की कंडीशन इस वक्त जो है बड़ी अनसर्टन है
Yes.
राइट नाउ. सो आप ऐसे मौके पर एक बड़ी पोस्ट, जिम्मेदार पोस्ट पर जा रहे हैं. यू आर गोइंग ऑन अ वेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबल पोजीशन.
Yes.
So how do you plan to handle this crisis of economy, and how about new businesses? कोई स्कोप है नए businesses के आने का? अगर आएंगे तो क्या opportunities हैं उनके लिए?
Sure. So business in Sugarland is doing really well. Why do I say that? Because I look at sales tax revenue, and our sales tax revenue continues to go up. So we have good businesses, and businesses are coming to Sugarland. I'll give you an example. Trader Joe's. It's in Katy, it's in Houston, but we did not have one in Sugarland. Now we have it. There's businesses, local business owners like Talyard Brewery. Beautiful place, but it's a family atmosphere with a playground outside, pickleball courts, volleyball courts, and you can sit there and you can have a good meal with your family as well. So businesses are doing well. What we don't do is give businesses money up front to say, here's some money so you can go build your business. That wouldn't be good. But what we do is we reinvest in businesses. So, for instance, in Sugarland Town Center, there's a business called Rupor. It's a Cajun restaurant. They were thinking about leaving. And we said, no, don't leave. Let us help you. And we helped them, and we gave them $75,000 so that way they can redo their outside. That was over 4 years ago, and I was one that approved that. Now that business has expanded into 2 more locations within the city. Another thing we do, we want office employees. Offices today are very low because of COVID, and the offices don't have people in it. So we do give incentives for people to move their business in Sugarland. Or if you're already a business, sometimes they're wanting to leave Sugarland. So we give them money so that way they can rebuild their office, give new carpet, new furniture, new everything. They put money, we put money, but what we do is we make a contract. The contract says you must employ 260 employees because now these employees work in Sugarland. That means they're going to go to the restaurants in Sugarland. They're going to have after parties in Sugarland. They're going to have breakfast in Sugarland. Maybe they'll move to Sugarland.
So you're saying whosoever works here will spend here?
Yes, and that is the key because remember, we have a mall, right? We have all the restaurants around Sugarland Town Center. Those restaurants are all doing really well now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you see them. And 6 years ago when I got elected, Sugarland Town Center was about 50% empty. Today, we have great restaurants like P.F. Chang's, BB Italia, Sweet Paris Crepes Place, State Fair, Jupiter Pizza. All these businesses are doing really well. So
that's the Sugarland City Council. I agree, because I have been watching all this, how Sugarland Town Center was and how it is right now.
Yes.
But why don't we have any other recreational area? Because Sugarland Town Center is smaller place. It's very crowded now. Like you said, you're planning for Imperial Sugar.
Yes.
But otherwise, we have nothing here.
No, I'm going to disagree. Let me disagree. Okay. And I mean this in a very nice way.
Sure.
We have beautiful parks. We have Cullinan Park. Cullinan Park is on Highway 6 and Highway 90. It is almost as big as the park, Central Park in New York City. Central Park in New York City and Cullinan Park are almost the same. But what do we have there? We have beautiful walking trails. We have alligators. We have all types of bird species because we have so many trees there. Trees are important to life for breathing fresh air. We have Memorial Park on University Boulevard. We have the Crown Festival site where 25,000 people come 4th of July for Independence Day of the United States of America, and they come there. So we have different recreation, different playgrounds. It's not always about living, but it's about how you live.
Better health.
Better health.
What I meant was, why can't we have a theme park?
I don't think that's going to happen because we don't have the land. I never say never, but we don't have the space, right? Theme parks need big spaces. They go, I think Walt Disney was looking at Sealy, Texas, many, many years ago. Right. But is it the right area for them? Obviously not. So I don't think you'll see a theme park in Sugarland. Will you have entertainment? Yes, there are different entertainment venues within this. Smart Financial Center. That is a venue that holds up to 6,400 people. baseball, right? I know a lot of people watching love cricket, but we have a baseball stadium here, which is America's first pastime. And the Houston Astros AAA baseball team resides here in
Do you
Sugar
play
Land.
cricket?
I do not.
You do not.
I do not.
Otherwise, we would have.
I watch cricket.
Otherwise, we might have a cricket ground here.
So we do have cricket grounds coming. The Fort Bend County is looking at some facilities, and in 2013 we tried to do it. I was part of the Parks Bond Committee, but the voters said we don't want this. But it wasn't just cricket. It was soccer fields. It was tennis courts, swimming pools. But at the time, the taxpayers said, don't raise our taxes. We don't need this. Maybe we need to revisit that because
So let's
Sugar
talk
Land
about
owns the land.
taxes, where we stand in taxes.
So 36.5 cents. 36.5
And in
cents.
comparison to Rosenberg, Richmond.
So let me compare it to a comparable city. Apples to apples. Pearland is almost 70 cents. Double. Imagine what I just said. But we have an airport. We provide police, fire. Our police, we just had a report last week. Our police response time is less than 7 minutes. That is an amazing feat for our police to arrive.
Yeah, I agree.
And they'll continue to check in. And if you're driving around Sugar Land, notice this when next time you see. And when you get to Sugar Land, notice how many police officers.
I
you
already noticed that.
see. Because their presence, just them driving around, deters crime.
Yeah, that's
And so that is important. That is
That's
important.
true. Okay, let's go to the next question. Very important again. How you are different because let me tell my audience के इनके मुकाबले पर 5 कैंडिडेट और हैं. यही इस दफ़ा बड़ी 20 कैंडिडेट्स हैं इस दफ़ा शुगर लैंड के लिए सिटी काउंसिल के लिए. तो 5 कैंडिडेट और हैं. How you are different from them?
That's a great question, and I appreciate you asking me this question because I'm the only candidate that has run a big business. City of Sugar Land's budget is $415 million,
Wow.
right? I have run a $1 billion business. Not my own, but I worked for a company. I was the executive vice president of Prime Communications, and at one point in time, I had 8,500 employees underneath me. 8,500. The city of Sugar Land has 850 employees, 1/10 of the size. I'm the only candidate that can say that I've done this. Yes, there may be engineers. Yes, people have small businesses. There's educators that are running. But to run a city effectively, you've got to go in and find where you can save money because then you make money for the citizens because then you don't spend it. In my business world, when I was at Prime Communications for 25 years, I would go to Atlanta or I would go to Asheville, North Carolina or Miami, Florida on a business trip. But I would never spend $450 at a hotel. But I would get that same hotel room for $95 because of Priceline.com. I knew how to save money. Why would I pay $450 for the same Marriott property in Atlanta, Georgia, when I can get it for $95 to $105 for the same night and save my company money? And that's what I've done. I've run a big business. That is the difference between me and all of my other opponents.
Okay. Let's go to the next question.
Sure.
So since you belong to Desi community,
Yes.
I cannot say you Pakistani because you've come from South Africa.
East Africa.
East Africa.
Yes.
But you speak Urdu also. Maybe your ancestors were kachi Urdu.
Kachi, yeah.
हाँ, but वो बच्चों यहाँ के बच्चे जैसे बोलते हैं.
Sure.
So हमारी कम्युनिटी के बारे में यहाँ पर what do you think we are doing fine? What are your plans for the community? You think my concern is younger generation. हमारे बच्चों के लिए आगे क्या है यहाँ पर?
Sure.
If they are not from the elite, because not everybody is from the elite.
Sure.
They have come from associate degree or a simple metric college, A-level, O-level.
Yep. So Sugar Land is no different than any other city. We have an area, part of our city, that is largely African American, and they live in Sugar Land. It's called Mayfield Park area. It's in District 1, right behind the Imperial Sugar Factory. These people have gotten homes, and they've lived in the same home for generation after generation after generation. Poverty is everywhere. Sugar Land, mashallah, we're very blessed. that the average income is over $100,000. The average home is a $420,000 home in the city of Sugar Land. So we don't see the poverty that you see in Houston. You don't see people underneath the bridges and stuff. But there's opportunity for everyone. And my answer is, if Naushad can do it, anyone can do it. I'm not saying I'm rich. No, I'm successful because I used my education, my knowledge, and got myself in the right place at the right time. And now I'm doing this to give back to my community.
So would you guide this community, youngsters? Somehow you will use any platform for that?
Absolutely. And I've been doing it. And let me tell you how. I invite Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts to come to City Hall to see what it's like. You know why? I was not born in the United States. You were not born in the United States. These kids were born in the United States. And I tell them, Naushad cannot become the president of the United States. But I look at them and say, you can. I will always do that. I'm a big believer in the youth. I believe in education. I believe in opportunity at the right time. Seize the opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity. However, I have also failed in my life multiple times. It's okay to fail. And I tell children this all the time, young people, it's okay to fail. I tell my own kids that. Fail because it'll only make you stronger.
How about a direct question?
Direct. Sure.
How can people access you, or can people will be able to access you?
100%.
Okay.
Number one, as the mayor, it is a much busier position. We do have an administrator that fields phone calls and everything. We have a landline at the office. I only carry one cell phone. I only give one cell phone number out. You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me via text message. You can reach me via phone. I have always made myself available, and I will continue to make myself available.
After you want.
Absolutely. And I've done it for 6 years as a city council member.
Yeah.
You see, I respond to your WhatsApp messages all the
I am
time.
not a party in this, but this
Yes,
is true.
yes.
But this is true. I always message him and he responds. So let's take your message. We are about to end the show.
Sure.
So let's see what you want to say to the audience. And when is the election, your dates and your website.
Sure. Once again, thank you for listening. I appreciate you all tuning in and listening to me for the past hour. My goal is very simple. When I get in office, I made this promise 6 years ago, and I will make this promise again. I will always be your ear. I want to listen to you. And then when it's time for me to speak, I will speak for all 115,000 of my constituents that live in the city of Sugar Land. I made that promise 6 years ago. I've kept that promise, and I will continue to keep that promise even when I am your mayor when it comes to May 3rd. Election Day. Election Day is very clear. It's April 22nd through 29th. Early voting is April 22nd through 29th. I never worry about Election Day because May 3rd, we can have a bad rainstorm in Houston. You just don't know how the weather changes. So vote early. My website is simple. Kermally for Sugar Land. Kermally, FOR, Sugarland is one word.com. That is my website. You will see my platform is there. But I encourage everyone, vote, because only 12% of City of Sugar Land normally votes. I have a feeling this one's going to be closer to 20% because there's, as you mentioned, 22 people in the city races, but there's also 6 others in the Fort Bend ISD races. So 28 individuals that are running. So everyone's friends and those friends are going to come out, and so it'll go up as well.
Thank you so much for your time and your energy. It was a good conversation.
Sure.
Hope to see you again.
Inshallah. We'll be back.
इसके साथ ही आज के प्रोग्राम का वक्त ख़त्म होता है। फरा इकबाल को इजाज़त दीजिए और अपने कमेंट्स ज़रूर भेजिएगा जब आप प्रोग्राम देखें फेसबुक पर, यूट्यूब पर। इंशाल्लाह फिर आपसे मुलाकात होगी। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
Thanks.